the issue that mostly. Well, yes, let me say welcome to everyone. Thank you, Jay. Welcome to today's webinar. This is already a full house. I love it. I'm sure some people don't know me and they're wondering what is going on here. Anywho, we're gonna go ahead and start. Today, we're going to be talking about how to make money. This is actually one of my favorite topics, but because of you, I've had to talk more about how to save, how to invest. But today, we're going to be talking about passive income. I want to know if you are excited to be here, if you're ready for us to go ahead. Like people should know by now that 7 is 7, right? So if you're interested and you're excited to be in today's particular conversation, wanting to like learn more, those kind of things, yeah. I want to see some fire emojis in the chat. I also want to know, what are your expectations from today's conversation? What are you looking forward to learning? I also would love to know how many of us, where are we listening from? So I think the last time we had people from the UK, from Lagos. We had people in different states. I think Abuja was there. I think for the first time I heard Sokoto or something like that. So I would love to know. I would love to know where you're joining in from and what you're looking forward to learning. You can answer just to respond. So someone says, I love how to learn how to monetize my knowledge. So this is going to be a very short conversation. So rather than beating around the bush, I would go ahead and start because I want us to have enough time. I want us to be able to, or rather, to everyone that is going to listen to the end, I want you to be able to make some decisions after this particular conversation, rather, so that you know, okay, this is the next thing I want to do for myself. Now that I know XYZ, I'm going to work on X, I'm going to work on Y, I'm going to work on Z, right? So someone is listening, or rather, someone says, I want to learn, this is Aloha. I want to learn how to make more money. I'm joining from Mina, Anambra, Abuja. Fantastic. So we're spread across different parts of the country, right? So yes, today's masterclass is going to be about passive income, how to build income that pays you even when you are not working, right? So fine, you want to learn how to diversify your income. You want to learn how to earn beyond your current income, right? Um, Right, so let's go ahead to why we're here today. So welcome. So by the end of this particular conversation, you'll have the knowledge and tools to start making smarter money decisions. See, it is not to work hard, though. It is to be able to make smarter money decisions. I'm not going to say you stop working hard. Oh. Please and please, you have to work hard. But you're going to learn how exactly you can make smarter decisions and confidently by yourself position yourself to win in 2026. It is very important that you're able to tell yourself the truth. It is very important that you're able to do the things that will make you to move from point A to point B. And it is very important for you to have the knowledge and most importantly, confidence to be able to do the work that would bring you the most results, right? So because this is a short session, I need you to make the most of it. I want you to be in a quiet room, free of distractions. I want you to be either using your earpiece, your headset, or even a speaker so that you are sure that all the things that you are hearing, everything that you want to listen to, you can hear it loud and clear. Then you also want to get yourself a notepad. I typically always have a jotter, I have a pen by my side when it comes to teaching because there's some things I'll just tend to remember. There's some things I would just want to note down so that later on I can work on it. Later on, I can do a bit more research. And most importantly, because we're going to be doing Q&A at the end of the session, I would want you to take note of your questions as we go. If you think you're going to forget it, you can drop it in the chat. When it's time, I would ask you again and then you can post it and then I can answer your question. So now that I've said all of these things, are you ready for us to start? If you don't tell me you are ready, we're not going anywhere. Oh. If you do not tell me that you're ready, we are not going anywhere. So are you ready for us to start? I am ready. Beautiful. Now let us start. So because this is a large house and a number of people are just meeting me for the first time, and then there's some OGs that are here that have known me for the longest, But for the newbies, for the new guys, for my new people that will soon get to know me and fall in love, right? I want to tell you a little bit about myself. And I want to tell you a little bit about why you should be listening to me and why I am qualified to hold your hands to be able to make these decisions that you're going to have to make after this particular conversation. I started making money when I was in primary school, primary four to be precise. And the way I started making money was I had to save some money so that I could have capital to start my first business, right? And while I was very good with making money, keeping money, I actually then eventually experienced setback, which actually taught me a very, very valuable lesson. This is very simple. It's supposed to be at the end, but I went ahead to start investing without fully understanding what investment was, without fully understanding the risks that were involved, without fully understanding if it was the perfect fit for me at that particular point in time. And I took all of my life savings and I invested it and I lost it all. So that was my first major setback. And that was the most important lesson I have had to learn so far. Right. And because I was able to pick myself up fast enough, I realized the family and friends were always reaching out to me to ask questions. And every time I'll tell them what to do, oh, I want to start this business. Oh, I want to do this thing. Oh, I'm trying to do this research. And they end up going ahead to do what I would tell them to do. Guess what? They would come back. They'll come back with reviews. They'll come back with, oh, I was able to do this. I was able to do that. And guess what? That is one of the most fulfilling feeling that you would ever have to experience as someone who is a natural born educator, right? So I started YPFG 3 years after this particular setback. And it was like, okay, I was born for this. But I did not stop there. Now that I knew that, okay, I'd lost all of my life savings, I'd lost all of the money I was supposed to use to pretty much start growing my financial life as of then, I had to start all over again by investing 5K. And with this 5K is what I have now built to over 8 figures. So this is something I would always say. For you to be able to visualize what 8 figures is, I would need you to write zero 8 times in the chat box. Just write zero 8 times so you have an idea of what the 8 figures is that I am talking about, right? And I have been doing investing for well over 7 years and counting now. So I've refused to change this to what it currently is, but for more than 7 years, I have consistently invested. And because of me consistently investing, I've been able to gather different type of assets over and over and over again, from them being tangible to those that are not tangible. So the tangible assets that you will talk about are things that you can see. What are those things that you can see that have value, that will bring you more value? So for context, I need to explain what an asset is. An asset is that item. It is that financial instrument. It is that property of yours that has the ability to bring you more money, that has the ability to increase in value over time, that has the ability to be able to be 100K today, 500K tomorrow. I've been able to gather different type of assets, from things that you can see, you can touch, to things that you cannot see and you cannot touch. So this is where I would ask one more time to those of us that are here, what are those things that you can see and you can touch that will bring you much more value at the end of the day, right? I need to know. Okay, so my screen is paused, but let me come back here. I'm checking the chat. What are those things that you can see or that you can touch that has value? What are those things that you can see, you cannot touch that has value? I'd love to know. Okay, so that's fine. I haven't gotten any message yet, or am I the one not checking the chat? Oh, sorry, I finally saw one. So there's land and there's gold. These are things that you can touch. Yes, I've been able to accumulate that. What are those things that you cannot touch? For those of us that are listening in, okay, see and touch, real estate, not touch, company stocks, yes, estate, land, buildings. Good, good. I love that you guys are. I love that you are listening, right? Because I'm going to talking to the only person. I'm going to talking to the only person that is interested in listening to me, right? So my investment, like I said, is already valued at 8 figures, and I'm focused on building wealth currently with dividends that now currently cover some of my living expenses. So you would have to have invested a substantial amount of money for you to be earning something that can cover your living expenses, right? So what exactly are we going to be talking about today? So today is actually going to be this particular information is going to be divided into four parts, or rather two parts. This is part one, where we're going to be talking about the three types of passive income that you want to take note of, how you can start small, and busting those myths that is keeping you stuck, those myths that are keeping you from making decisions that you should be making for yourself, right? So we're going to divide it into two. And then the second part of this particular conversation for today is where I'm going to be sharing with you how you can actually start building your passive income via one of the types of passive income that I would be explaining today. Are you with me? So we're going to be having this conversation in two parts. Part one is divided into the three types of income, starting small and busting myths about passive income. Part two is where I'm going to be educating or showing you something that is going to be able to help you to take action immediately. So now this is what I always do at the beginning of my class. This is like a 2026 thing, where I will tell you that at the end of this particular session, at the end of today's session, I'm going to provide a solution, right? And I would need you to take action immediately. So if you know that you're just here to be passive, to not take action, I would advise that you do not waste your time, because time is money. If you spend your evening sleeping, eating, cooking, doing whatever you could be doing, probably even reading a novel that would give you some sort of refreshment, that would give you some sort of recharging, for people like me that likes to recharge as if we're batteries, right? It would be good that you do that. But do you know what will not be good? That you will come, that you would listen, and that you will not take action. I take it that you're wasting your time. And guess what? I do not associate myself with people that are not, that do not have, or rather, that do not, what's the word? That do not take urgency as something very important. So I'm going to say that if you know you're not going to be taking action, there will be no need to stay on the call. You can as well drop off. Or you're just like, okay, I just want to hear what she has to say. No, don't hear what I have to say. If you will not be doing it, if you will not be putting it into consideration, if you will not be, no, don't hear what I have to say. Yes, I'm telling you that you can go. But if you know that you are here for some sort of change, that you've looked at yourself and you've looked at this particular year and you've looked at it that, okay, oh, this year I will be doing more things that will move me from point A to point B. I'll be doing all of the things that are within my power to ensure that I am making the next best decision for myself. Then you can stay. So this is what I have to say. And I do hope, I want to check. Nobody has left the call yet. So I want to believe that each and every one of you that is hearing the sound of my voice is going to be implementing whatever they are learning. So let's go into today's session fully. This session is going to be for you again. If you're a beginner, you want to improve, you are looking for financial security, you need tools, like practical tools that you can plug and play. You are committed to your own learning, you're committed to your own growth, then this particular session is not for you. So all these plenty things I've said now, if you cannot picture yourself in any of this, I want to tell you that you're in the wrong place at the right time. I want to tell you that you might want to consider leaving, so you are sure that, okay, I'm not wasting my God-given time. Oh. I'm either sleeping, I'm either eating, I'm either doing. So you might be wondering why I'm pursuing you from a webinar that you signed up for. That is very simple. I don't want us to spend the time and you'll be like, oh my God, it's 2028. I did not do what I learned in 2025. No, we don't do that here. So should we go ahead? Should we go ahead? Go on. I have one go on here. Good. So why exactly should we be talking about passive income in this age and time, with this way that we are in this developed world, with everything on the internet, with everything that we can use with AI? We're talking about passive income because for us to be very, very factual. First things first, less than 20%, what's 20%? Less than 10% of Nigerians earn above 200,000 naira. In fact, before this particular conversation, I was listening to the cost of living. I was listening to a news piece, right? And they were talking about the cost of living report that was released by Rise. Rise is one of those investment platforms and they did a research and they gathered 19,000 responses. And these were from people in 4 different African countries about how much it costs to stay alive, to eat, to just be like cost of living, all of the things that you need to just stay. And it was so heartbreaking to listen to a snippet, because I'm not done reading the report, but I listened to a snippet about how broke, how poor a lot of people are. And now it's fine that, okay, in Nigeria, not a lot of people are earning over 200K. But do you know the worst part? The average salary of people in Nigeria has not doubled in the last 10 years. Now, let me explain that in numbers. It means that if we're in 2026 now, in 2016, there are still people that were earning, if this person was earning 400,000 naira, there's a very high probability that that person is not earning 800,000 naira. Do you understand the numerals? So in 2016, you were earning 400,000 naira. In 2026, your salary is not up to 800,000 naira. That is what it is. And if that was the case, it will not be painful. But do you know what is worse? That the price of food was triple. It is times 5. Saying triple is like trying to find an average. But there are so many things that as of 2016, in fact, how many lollipop can you still buy for 10 naira? How many of them, or what's 10 naira? 5 naira. This is like even trying to see the lowest amount. And it is said that by the stats that I gathered, that by 2027, over 60% of young Nigerians are expected to work informally. So it means that everybody will be looking for a way to make money for themselves. People will be looking at ways to just try and do freelancing, trying to do business. And it does not mean that you're going to make all the money in the world if you go ahead to go and do business and do freelancing, because you would have to break your back for it to be consistent. There's going to be high months, there's going to be low months. And then the most heartbreaking part of this particular research that I did was that only 4.5% of Nigerians invest in income generating assets, meaning that 95% of people are looking at ways to just stay afloat. First of all, is who that have eaten that will be investing. First of all, is who that have disposable income that will be investing. You cannot tell me that I have bills to pay and tell me to come and invest. So a lot of people rely on the daily hustle. A lot of people rely on how much came in. A lot of people rely on, let my salary just come. Now, if this is not heartbreaking, I promise you I do not know what is heartbreaking. This is our reality. And this is why it is important that we are exposed to things around investing, how to have passive income, so that you don't have to break your back throughout. So now this is a part of where we'll say, oh, God forbid this, God forbid that. But what happens if you, or let me say, I was listening to ISW today, and they were like, what if your enemy falls sick and cannot work for 2 months? Will money still come in? Have you ever had a month where your bills were more than your income? I'm expecting your responses though. And now this is the part that nobody wants to hear. If your job ended tomorrow, how long would you survive on the money that you have this month, like your current savings, the current amount of money that you have? If your job ended tomorrow now, how long will that savings that you have, how long will it stay? How long will it keep you afloat? So when we're talking about investing, building wealth, because I'm sure that you people have listened to not one person, not two person, you're following like 10 financial creators, you're following people that are talking about money. But have you started to ask yourself, because what is not about how much you make, oh, let's just make it clear. So while people will say, okay, they're always telling you to invest, you're not teaching you how to make money. It is not about how much you make. You can be making 1 million naira every day. That is 30 million a month. And guess what? You can spend it all. If we're talking about wealth, we're talking about how much you can keep, how much you can grow, how you can make use of this money to your best advantage. So we have someone that can do up to 4 months. I'm super proud. So like I said at the beginning of this particular conversation, that we're going to talk about different type of passive income that you can venture into. In this case, you can look at. Number one on my list is asset-based. So it means that you're getting, I explained what assets were earlier during this call, where I said that assets are those things that will bring you value, that will bring you more money, that would increase. So if you buy it for 100 naira, there's a part that you can buy for, there's a point where you can have it for sold at 500, you can have it sold at 150. It is something that would always increase in value. So we're talking about stocks, real estate, bonds, treasury bill, mutual funds. We're talking about fixed income. We're talking about gold. We're talking about silver. We're talking about commodities that are traded. These are things that can give you passive income. So you decide that, okay, I'm going to invest in dividend paying stocks, meaning that for every time that particular stock pays dividend, you earn money. Or you decide that you're going to invest in treasury bills. So for every time what's it called, interest coupons are paid out, you earn either quarterly, you earn. So you're talking about real estate. You decide to go and do real estate investment trust, or you go and do residential real estate, or you go and do agricultural real estate. As the value of your property increases, as more customers are coming in, you earn money. So this one is like number one, a no-brainer, right? How else can you make passive income? Number two, product-based. So it means that you are making products. So you have like your regular income, you have your 9 to 5. But then again, there are products that are going to be bringing in money. This is you creating an ebook. This is you creating a template. This is you offering a service. But this is something that people can buy, that you have created once and is being rinsed and repeat over and over again without you doing any work. So one of my new favorite people, I think I came across her page in 2021 or 2022, is I can't even pronounce her name. She had one English name like this. This girl, in the last 4 or 5 years, she has made over $1 million from content creation on social media alone. I'm even going far. Alex on a budget made over $500,000 last year, in the year 2025 alone. She was creating content. She was doing brand deals. She was selling products. This is the same product. She was selling templates. This is something that she had created once and I sold. Yeah, this other lady too had a template too. And I sold over and over and over and over again. So you're like, okay, no, I don't have the power to create ebook, because you're not sure you want to use Gemini and ChatGPT and Canva to create a book for yourself. Have you thought about having passive income via service-based, whereby you're literally promoting products of other people? So let's say you buy something on Jumia, for example, and then you register with Jumia to be an affiliate, whereby if somebody decides that, okay, I really love, let me see somebody's name on here. So Amy, where did you buy this pin from? I really like this pin, oh. And you're like, okay, don't worry, I'm going to show you where I bought it. And then you carry your Jumia link and you send to the person. When the person buys the pin, you earn one tiny amount of money. And then because you realize that I can make money from just telling people where I bought things from, you then decide to put in a little bit more effort. So you're talking about how, oh, you painted your house and the painter charged you 10,000 naira. And you have an agreement with the painter that, okay, for every person that comes through me, I earn 10%, 1K, I earn 2K. And on, this money begins to compound. These are different ways that you can earn passive income. You create once or multiple times and you earn. You tell people about what you are doing. You tell people about how you're making your life easier. You tell people about the things that they need. So you might not necessarily even have to even use it. So I know that this lady 3C, what's her name? Mimi OJ. She has a community, a paid community. And in that paid community, what happens is if you join her community or you decide to become an affiliate, anytime somebody pays for the community because they use your link, you earn money. This is a community you paid to join, no? But if you get people to join the community where all of you are learning the same thing, learning the same digital marketing, learning the same affiliate marketing, learning the same content creation, learning the same monetization, by the time you get more people to come and join you to learn in the same place that you are learning, guess what? You earn money. And at the end of the day, you might even end up learning for free because if you get more of your friends to join in, you earn more people. If you get more acquaintances or more people that are interested in whatever that you are doing, you earn. This is passive income where you necessarily don't have to break the bank. You necessarily don't have to break your head. So money will forever flow to skills and not to effort. Money will forever flow to those things that you upgrade, those things that you pay attention to. And this is how it happens because if you upgrade your skills, if you ensure that, okay, I'm doing better with my life, I'm trying to ensure that, okay, I talk more about the things I'm learning. Even if it is what's it called, you're going on LinkedIn and you're sharing snippets about how you're able to do problem solving, how you're able to do marketing, how you're able to do engineering. Because you now have a skill of storytelling, because you now have a skill of sharing, communicating, what happens? Recruiters will reach out to you. Can you see the win-win here? And you get to upgrade your income and you get to earn just by doing the same sort of things that you've been doing, but positioning differently. So let's say you wanted to do number one, which is asset based. You want to buy assets so that by the time you buy assets, Nigerian stock market has done over 27% this year alone. It's barely 2 months in. If I want to do the calculation like you people like to do the calculation, that's like 10% every month. But that's not the correct way to do it. But in this year alone, yield to date is over 27% on the Nigerian Stock Exchange. So you decide that you want to buy assets. There's one person now that is on the other side of the internet screaming that you cannot buy assets with 10,000 naira. You cannot buy assets with 50,000 naira because the money is too small. But then again, they also forget that there are a lot of you that do not have the habits, that do not know how to invest. And then I'll now tell you that you don't know how to invest, go and invest 1 million naira. If you lose that 1 million naira, how would you feel? Mm? So for you to be able to start, it is advisable that you test the waters. So yesterday I was at this founders event where we're talking about building MVP, making sure that you make your idea viable before building, before going to go and look for funds from investors, right? And yet again, even people that have raised millions of dollars, I think this guy done like 25 million. People have made millions. This another person has been in the industry for over 2 decades. So they've gone round and round. Guess what? This same set of people keep saying they're the ones that will give this company builders money. The three of them, or rather, the three sections still revolved around the same message where you want to test, you want to know whether or not this would work before you put all your eggs there. And they didn't even advise you to put all your eggs there. So you want to start with a small amount of money. And people are still following me. I'm not seeing any comment, no interaction, nothing. So let me be sure that you are here with me. Because this house is double than where we started from. So you want to start small. Your 10K here, your 5K here, your 50K here, in stocks, in your saving platforms, so that you can understand what it is like. So you want to use your skill set to create products. So now let me give a very realistic example. In August 2025, I launched my first book, my first paid ebook. It's called What Stock Should I Buy? However, before I decided to write that book, I already had the idea. Before I decided to write that book, what I did was I came online. I asked people, if I write this book and it contains how you know what to invest in, what app you should use, FAQs inside, the different stocks that you want to take note of, how you would know your risk appetite, would you buy this book? And then I set up the pre-order link, selling it about, I think, less than 50-70% of the price. Before I even started writing, I had over 40 people pay for this book before I lifted a finger. In fact, it was so crazy that as of the day before the launch, we were still editing this book. The different people that were proofreading were still proofreading the book. It was my skill set I used, though. I did not pour all of my money into running ads, paying a designer, paying the editor. It was when people showed that they were interested in this particular thing that I went ahead. I wrote that book once. Until date, I still earn from that book, because that's the first place I'll send you to if you're interested to learn how to invest, because I poured every single thing that you need, but it is just in a book. So people that like to read are having the time of their life. So you can decide to use your skill set to create and then automate these things. Or you're like, oh no, Oluchukwu, I don't want to do that. But I want to make money. I want to make passive income. I don't want to be the one to do everything by myself. And this is where I've talked about how you want to partner. You want to promote other people's products so that you can make money from it. This does not take away anything from you. So how do you know? Do you know people that are interested in investing? Do you know anybody that teaches about investing? Have you reached out to them to promote their products? Oh, you know people that do skincare. You know people that like lifestyle XYZ. Have you decided that you're going to sell this thing without you using your capital? I've forgotten the name. Okay, drop shipping. I even did a lot of that a couple of years ago. It doesn't take away from you. You're just being the bridge between the person who needs the thing and the person who is selling the thing. And guess what? You're being rewarded for it. So you want to start small, but most importantly, very, very smart. Because we're not going to be doing hard work here. We're not going to be suffering in this our community. We don't do that kind of thing here. So there's a lot of things that have been keeping a number of you stuck, where you say, oh, I need millions to start. No, you don't. Take it from me for free. You do not. So back to my event I was at yesterday. That was such a good event if I'm referencing it more than once. And this particular person was talking about how she's a healthcare professional, healthcare service provider. And I'm in the community with her when she was talking about how, oh, she has really been enjoying vibe coding. Vibe coding is you using AI to create whatever you want to create without using like a proper developer, right? Because developers would do everything by themselves. And this lady said that she vibe coded some things, and fine, she got stuck. She had to move it back to her software person. But that particular thing that she did with less than $50, the proper service that she would have done manually, have like 5 staff work on it. Guess what? They vibe coded it and they sold that same service for the same price that they would have done a whole lot of more work, and the AI tool helps them to sort it out. Or is it the lawyers that now built a product that at the end of the day, due diligence that would take them weeks and months, AI gets it done for them in 30 minutes? You don't have to be a tech bro. You don't have to be rich to be able to make money for yourself. You just need to apply what you already know. What are the gaps that you can see? Oh, English. What are the gaps that you can see? Are you doing anything about it? So you would be telling yourself all these lies just so that you will not do the work. Please come off it. I be how they say that in English. Stop. Don't deceive yourself. Yeah. And then there's the other part of us that will tell me that I don't have time. I don't have time. Okay, oh. I said okay because me, I don't know what I want to tell you. That you don't have time. But you will swipe on WhatsApp, you will go to Instagram, you go to Twitter, you go to TikTok, you will come back again to your gallery, then go again round this whole circle. You even go to YouTube and join. You don't exactly need a lot of time, to be fair and honest. You just need systems. You don't need to work on whatever you're working on to make more money every single day. You just need to know, okay, I need to get XYZ done. And then there's also that part of us that will say, oh, I'm not sure how this works. But I'm here to tell you that as we are here now, all of us together, if your money is not working for you while you are sleeping, I'm sorry to be the one to break it to you in plain English that you're going to have to work forever. Yes, because nobody's going to give you anything for free. Except you're a trust fund baby. That's a different conversation entirely. If you're a trust fund baby, you shouldn't even be here at all. Why are you looking for passive income? You already have passive income in your trust. So if your money does not start working for you while you sleep, if you don't start earning without having to actively do the work, you're going to work forever. Oh. There's no way out. Because assets can bring you money, products can bring you money, services can bring you money, but you have to set them up to bring passive income. So while you do your 9 to 5, while you do your business, you want to have other things that will bring in more money. So if any part of you is saying, oh, I wish I knew all of this earlier, then we're about to enter the part 2 of today's conversation. But before we enter the part 2 of today's conversation, wait. How many of us are following me? Because I see a number of people are having network issues. How many of us are following? I'm following. Active. I like that, active. Very much active. Good. So if you've ever, if as I've been saying all these plenty things, if you've thought about how you wish you knew any of these things earlier, then I have a boot camp that I'm going to share with you. Because at the end of the day, when it comes to making more money, when it comes to making passive income, you do not have to figure it out all by yourself. The boot camp is where we're going to literally have to build systems together, where you would actually have to, where you now have a plan. You can now say, okay, I have assets, I have mutual funds that pay X amount, I have treasury bills that pay X amount, I have stocks that will be able to give me X amount if I'm able to invest X amount. Oh, I know that in the next 40 years, in the next 20 years, in the next 15 years, I would be able to come back to something and say, okay, I'm done with my job. Let me move on with life. At the end of the day, it is those small intentional steps that you make that will lead to those financial big things that you're looking for. Right? So let me tell you about the School of Investing Bootcamp, where you can grow your money, where you can earn passive income for yourself. Right? Is anybody with me? How many of us can see my screen? Hello. Okay, so I want to be sure that you guys are with me. Good. If you decide to join the School of Investing Bootcamp, it's a bootcamp, it's a 2-weekend bootcamp where we'll cover 8 comprehensive models. 8 comprehensive models. modules rather, where you're going to learn the foundations, money, wealth, mindset. You're going to learn about fixed income. You're going to learn about stocks, how the stock market works. You're going to learn about how to pick good stocks. You're going to learn how you can use, or rather, I'm going to share with you materials that you can use for you to start with your small money. Small capital investing from 10 to 50K. You're going to learn about risk management. We're going to have practical sessions like live demos. You're going to learn how to build and track your portfolio. Within 2 weekends, 8 different modules, you're going to learn all of these things. And instead of just teaching, I'm going to be sharing a few resources with you. Resources that you can download and keep for yourself forever. You're going to have lifetime access to. And these are resources that are worth over 100,000 naira. And a few of them are the investing red flag checklist, so that the time you're saying, okay, I want to make money, you're not going to use it and throw away your money. You're going to learn how, you're going to have the stock research checklist, so that at the end of the day, if you're interested in a particular stock, you're able to ask questions and get answers that will decide for you whether or not. You're also going to get in a portfolio tracker, so you can write down all of the things that you have. You're going to be getting the small capital plan, and then you're going to also get 28 investment picks. So 28 different stocks, assets that you should buy, you should have in your portfolio. You're going to be getting that as well. And if that was all, that would be good. But you're also going to get in community and support. So for context, let me explain. You're getting 8 values, 8 modules. What am I saying? You're going to get in 8 modules, live classes, recorded classes, and it's going to be in drip format. So it's not going to be overwhelming. So every day you're going to get a new module delivered to your inbox. You're going to get all of this worth over 75,000 naira. You're going to get tools and templates that you get lifetime access to. This is one I said you will download and keep in your hard drive for yourself, your laptop, whatever. That is well over 100,000 naira. You're also going to be getting community support. So we're going to be having a private group that even after the class, the 2 weeks class, that you're going to get access to for 1 month. This private group is going to be for your particular cohort. When we are done and the new cohort is about to start, you go to the alumni group where every other learner would be in. This is worth over 30,000 naira per month. And this is well over 155,000 naira delivered to you in just 2 weekends. Delivered to you so that you can set up yourself for financial success in the long run, right? And if I said that all of this is going to be going for 50,000 naira, do you think it is worth the price? This is where I need you to answer. Okay. If I said all these things I just mentioned is going for 50,000 naira, do you think that it is worth the price? Okay, I see a yes there. All right. But the good news is it is not going for 50,000 naira. All of these things I've mentioned is not going for 50,000 naira. All these plenty things I just mentioned, from the 8 modules to the live classes, the recorded classes, the templates, the resources that you get to download, the community, it is not going for 50,000 naira. It is going for only 35,000 naira. So stay with me. You're getting full value of over 155,000. The regular fee would have as well been 50K, but it is not. The price for today would be 35K. However, if you decide that, okay, I want to take my financial future into my own hands, I want to learn how to invest, I want to start building passive income using assets, I want to get to know more about stocks, bonds, treasury bills, fixed income for myself, I have something for you. For everyone who is going to take action within the next 24 hours, I have a bonus for you. So because you spent 50 minutes of your time with me, instead of just getting everything I've mentioned today for 35,000 instead of 50,000, you're going to be getting something extra within the next 24 hours. Aside the replay access, aside the accountability group, one person who is going to key in right now on this particular call is going to be getting a free portfolio review. So now let me explain what a portfolio review is for one person alone. If you decide to go ahead and join the School of Investing Bootcamp today, right now, when you are done learning, when it's time for you to structure your portfolio, when it's time for you to start investing, I will be the one to help you to go through that portfolio to be able to tell you, yes, this portfolio is good enough for you, for your risk tolerance, for the goals that you have. I will help you to vet it and approve it and tweak what needs to be tweaked so that you can be making as much money as possible. You'll be making the best profit as possible for yourself. And now for every other person that is going to join, let's say you miss out on the portfolio review, there's going to be a special pre-class investment blueprint for everyone who joins in the next 24 hours. So if you join the School of Investing Bootcamp today and in the next 24 hours, the first person gets a portfolio review, the next person gets, or rather, the next other people also then get a pre-investment blueprint. So what does this mean? What is inside the pre-investment blueprint? So that you can understand what I'm talking about. You'll be able to now say, okay, you have an extra resource on how to decide what asset to start with, how to avoid common mistakes that you would also learn in class, what not to touch yet. So like by the time you're moving around, you know, okay, this is for me, this is not for me. Waiting would always cost you more than learning. Oh, I'll do it next year. Oh, I'll do it next month. And then there's somebody here that will tell me, but no, I don't have money now. That is exactly why you need to learn how to invest. So by the time you start having small change, you know exactly what to use and do. You know that that change is going to go and bring you more money. And then there's somebody that will also say, I'm busy. That is why it is not only a live class. There's going to be the pre-recorded part, and there's going to be the live class, and there's going to be the community. So it is a 3-factor authentication, not 2-factor. And then there's somebody that will not say, oh, maybe next time. That's absolutely fine. It's not like I'm going to come and tell you that, oh, come, you must do this now. But you know what you'll be losing? Time that you cannot get back. Regrets that you always say, I wish I started earlier, when you can as well start right away. So I lost money already learning the hard way because you don't have to. So for you to be able to join the School of Investing Bootcamp, I see a lot of you are still here, so I want to believe that you are interested. What you need to do right away now to get a free portfolio review or to get the free pre-investment blueprint that is only going to be valid for those who join in the next 24 hours is to make payment to the Providence account you can see on the screen and then send your receipt of payment to the WhatsApp number on the screen. And you're like, okay, no, I don't want to use direct transfer. I want to use the website. The link to the website for you to commit is there. I showed you the beauty. I showed you how easy it is for you to make passive income. And I've decided I'm going to choose one of these ways to teach you how to make some more money for yourself, how to position yourself for financial freedom, how to position yourself for financial independence so that you can be making the best decision for yourself. So, money is not just a tool to pay bill. Money is that thing that you would use to make more money. So let me know if you have any questions. And I know that a lot of you here, you're going to take this particular chance on yourself to do better with your finances. So I'm going to be opening up. I see someone has a question. If you have a question, you can either use the chat to ask your question about what we've talked about today or about the School of Investing Bootcamp or any other topic you've been curious about, and I'm happy to answer. So I want to see. Someone has already taken the free portfolio review, and the person did not say anything since, so just quietly took it. So I'll be happy to give maybe a few more portfolio reviews for those because this person just came out from nowhere. So if you still want the portfolio review, do let me know in the chat box right now. You're interested, you want to pay, do let me know in the chat box right now, and I'll keep one portfolio review for you. However, I'm going to ask Mary to unmute her mic to ask a question. And if you have any more questions, do let me know. Okay. Two people have paid for the class. Mind you, I just remembered I did not tell you that the class starts on February 28th. So once you're onboarded, once you get all of the things that you need, once you send in the items, or rather, for those of us that have quickly taken the slots, you're going to send, I'll ask you for a few details on WhatsApp. You send it, you get onboarded, you join the community. That's the School of Investing Bootcamp community. And then before Saturday, we join the class and then we're good to go. So if you are here, do not sit on the fence. For you to have stayed for this long, do not sit on the fence. So someone is asking, how many days will the class hold? So the class is going to hold on 28th, which is next Saturday, and upper Saturday. The class is going to hold next Saturday and upper Saturday. The 8 modules will be delivered every day. So there's going to be 8 different topics. So we're going to talking about stocks. We're talking about mutual funds. We're talking about bonds. We're talking about treasury bills, commercial papers. You're going to learn about all of these things. I'm going to show you different apps you can use. I'm going to show you how you can, apart from different apps you can use, there's going to be a practical session. So in that particular practical section, you would then learn the different apps because what I usually do is I do like a general call. So in the community, we'll pick the different apps we're going to use to learn how to buy these assets. So it's not that I'm going to teach you no action. We will do it literally, sorry, I would hold your hand with the apps via the practical session. So literally, it's going to be 3 different classes, 2 weekends, but 3 classes, and then the 8 modules every day. You're going to be getting 1 new lesson, and then as soon as module 1 is open, you get access to the bonuses that come with module 1, but module 2, module 3, module 4, module 5, module 6. Module 7 doesn't come with a bonus, then module 8 and the bonuses. And then the community is going to be open for anyone that is interested in joining, right? So how can I access your ebook? So go on the link in my bio on Instagram, and then you can actually get the ebook for yourself, right? So I use Bamboo app, but not really understand how the whole stock work, your stock. This is why I said you should join the School of Investing Bootcamp, so that you can learn all these things by yourself, so that you can know how to do the research, so you can understand what the green and the red is saying. You can understand how to put things on your wait list, so you can be watching it before you even buy. These are the reasons why you should join the School of Investing Bootcamp. In fact, let me even give everybody here expo. If you go on my YouTube, there are videos on how you can use some specific apps. Those ones are there for the general public to make use of, right? So if you're interested, like I said, if you're interested in getting the bonus, the fast action bonus that I've mentioned, then you want to ensure that right now, at the moment, you leave a comment in the chat, or you make your payment and send a WhatsApp message to the number on the screen. So send the receipt of payment to the number of the screen. So I'm waiting to see if there are any other questions. We're right around the hour mark. Okay, somebody's just joining at the end. Okay. So I can't see any more questions. So do I take it that we are good for today? I need your responses so that we can all go about our businesses. All right, then. I'll take that as a response. Thank you all so much. This was where we were, Q&A. Thank you all so much for joining today's session. It was really, or rather, it was a very good one, right? And let me see, you can find me online as your personal finance girl on every platform. You can find me online as your personal finance girl on every platform, on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. Yes, you're going to find me as that name. And I'm going to see you in the next class. Bye for now.